There's a study I like very much that shows how making a gift meaningful, unexpected, and customized can amplify the principle of reciprocity. In the U.S., where the study was done, servers in restaurants rely heavily on tips for much of their income. So any way that they can maximize tips is important. One strategy that employs the rule for reciprocation involves putting a mint or a candy for each guest on the tray with the bill at the end of the meal. You've probably experienced this many times. Does this have any impact on tips? The study found that it did, increasing tips by 3.3% compared to customers who didn't receive a mint. Now, you might say, 3.3%, that's not much. I'd respond in a couple of ways to that. First, if you could increase your raw profit by 3.3% for the price of a mint, wouldn't that be worth it? Second, remember I said I like this study? Actually, I love this study because the researchers didn't stop after simply showing the positive effect of giving something first. They demonstrated how that impact could be multiplied by making the gift meaningful, unexpected, and customized or personalized to the recipient. Here's what they did. For another sample of guests, instead of providing a single mint, the server put 2 mints per guest on the tray at the end of the meal. You might expect that the tip would double since the number of mints doubled, right? In fact, it didn't double. It quadrupled. Rather than going up by 3.3%, tips jumped by 14.1%. Why? Because the gift of 2 mints represented a 100% increase over a single mint. And that's a meaningful difference. There's an important lesson here. Meaningful is not the same as expensive. Even gifts as small as an additional mint can be meaningful, as long as they're seen as significant by the recipient. Okay, but what about the other 2 amplifiers of reciprocity? The researchers tested the effect of making the mints both unexpected and personalized for a final sample of customers. At these tables, the server initially put just 1 mint per person on the tray with the bill, and after thanking the guests, walked away for a few steps, but then returned to the table saying, "You know what? For you nice folks," and he put a second mint down in front of each person. And tips went through the roof, soaring by 23%. Why? In this case, the second mint was both unexpected, after all, he came back to the table with it, and personalized by being given to each guest individually. When I present this study to groups, occasionally someone will say, "Well, that's very interesting, but I don't work in a restaurant or for tips. So what's the lesson for me?" That's when I know that I haven't done my job well enough. The takeaway from this study isn't about how servers can increase their gratuities. It's about how any of us can multiply the impact of an initial gift or favor by incorporating one or another of 3 amplifying factors. That's the lesson here.